Hey guys, Hillary here. Hope all is well with you. I have a really cool video for you today. So, full disclosure, what I'm going to talk about in this video is totally inspired by one of the fitness professionals who I adore, whose content I adore, and who I think is really making a huge impact on the industry, and that is Mike Vacanti of OnTheRegimen.com. He is if you don't know who he is, which you should, he is an online fitness coach, and really at this point I feel like I should call him a motivational speaker. He creates such inspired and inspiring content. You have to check out his YouTube channel if you haven't already. He muses on things related to fitness, nutrition, diet, macro counting. He's the one who turned me on to macronutrient counting, personal development, productivity. He's amazing. So I highly recommend that you check it out. And what the recent video that he posted that inspired this video is the one that he posted with Jordan Syatt of Syatt Fitness about reverse bets. He's talked about this before, but this video kind of went into detail a little bit more. And basically what a reverse bet is a productivity tool. You're essentially putting yourself on the hook with your own dollars. So you're telling yourself, if I don't complete this task, this creative task, or this really mundane task, or whatever it is that you need to do, if I don't complete this by X date or X time, I have to make a monetary donation to an organization that I loathe, or a person that I loathe, or an agency that I loathe. So it's actually really effective. So I think that the reason why this sort of stood out to me and really kind of piqued my interest is because I find that I put things off that I don't want to do very often. I mean, I think most people do this. We don't make we tend to, in general, of course I'm generalizing, we tend to not make the best use of our time, especially when, we're on the hustle, we're trying to, create, build a personal brand, create an online business, at least in my case. I have a tendency to put off the nuts and bolts, boring, tedious things that aren't particularly, that don't really, don't feel inspired to me. So I let that stuff sort of fall to the wayside, really at the detriment of my business and of my ability to grow my business. So, it's because there's so many distractions around us, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's so, it just really grabs so much of our attention away from what we should be doing. So what should really take 2 hours of our time ends up taking nearly 4. And, that's not an efficient use of time, especially when you have a lot going on. So, I think that one of the reasons that we do this, at least in my case, and what I realized after watching Mike's video, is that I kind of have a tendency to self-sabotage. There's no reason why I can't be more productive. I just choose not to. I let things that are interesting and immediate take the place of the things that are really more important and eventually will add value to my business over the long term. And I don't know why I do this. I think maybe I'm afraid of success. I have to think, what would it really mean if I got what I actually wanted in life? And I think a lot of people feel this way. I think it's common to say, oh, I'm afraid of failing, but I think people are equally afraid of success. Because what does that mean? It means that you've elevated your status. You have set a higher standard for yourself. And I think that from that point, it's much easier to fall off of that, from that point. So it's very tempting to stay in the comfort zone, to stay comfortable, to not expand beyond our comfort zone. But in order to grow and develop, as we all know, we have to push the envelope. We have to push ourselves beyond what we want to do in order to create momentum. Now, I'm going to say this twice. Momentum, in any creative pursuit, momentum is the key ingredient that will move the dial in a positive direction. Again, in any creative pursuit, whatever it is, Momentum is the key ingredient that will move the dial in a positive direction. And I found this to be true time and time again, and yet I fall into these patterns of self-sabotage. So I was like, I have to, get myself out of this. I have to do something different. I have to try something else. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a reverse bet. I'm going to take Mike's advice. I'm going to do this reverse bet. So how am I going to do this? How am I going to, build this creative momentum? I had to think about something that I've been putting off that I haven't really wanted to do, but which I know that needs to be done and is going to add value to my business. And that is client programming. When I'm doing it, I actually enjoy it because I think it's fun to figure out the different exercises to help my clients achieve their goals. But in reality, it's tedious and boring, and there's so many things I'd rather be doing, like scoping Facebook. So it's necessary in order to execute my role as a fitness coach and personal trainer. I need to do it. So I figured, you know what? This was yesterday. I figured, you know what? It's the summer solstice, longest day of the year. Why not take advantage of that? Why not make this a day that I set the creative wheels in motion, set the creative momentum going? And so I said, okay, if I do not complete 3 months of client programming by the end of, before I go to bed, this was yesterday, before I go to bed on June 20th, I have to donate $100 to Donald Trump's campaign. Ugh. I couldn't think of anything worse, anywhere where I would rather put my dollars less than towards Donald Trump's campaign. So this, it was a no-brainer. So essentially saying, if I don't complete this by the time I fall asleep on June 20th, I have to give $100 to Donald Trump's campaign. It became a no-brainer. It's like, of course I'm going to do this. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how tired I am. I'm going to push through and I'm going to get it done. So I was miserable. I was up until 1 a.m. I usually go to bed between 9 and 9:30. I was fighting sleep the whole time. I was fighting with myself the whole time. I was like, well, no one really knows that I made this bet to myself. I don't need to I can stop now. I don't need to follow through, but I did it. It wasn't the best programming I've ever done. I'm going to have to go back and check over it and make sure that it's good, but it's done. I'm sleep deprived today. I'm probably going to be extraordinarily dependent on caffeine to get me through, but I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud, and I feel the momentum. And I realized that I've proven myself wrong. There's no reason why I can't be more productive, why I can't get more done during the day than I ever thought possible. Because the reality is we sell ourselves short. We are a lot more capable than we think we are. And so at this point, I have the confidence to push through, to complete some other projects that I've been putting off. This reverse bet productivity tool is probably one of the best things I've discovered. I highly recommend that you check it out. And if you do, let me know in the comments section what it is that you want to get done and by when, and to what organization, agency, or person you're going to make a donation if you don't complete the task. And tell me if it doesn't light some fire under your ass. All right, so I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderfully productive day. Remember, in any creative pursuit, momentum is the key ingredient that will move the dial in a positive direction. So take advantage of this reverse bet idea. Get the momentum going, get the creative juices flowing, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one. Bye.